Okay, another session with Kaycie today. He said he'd been doing war and stuff though, so yeah.
Hello?
How's it going again, Kaycie? Come on in. Same as last time. You don't need to worry about it. How you going?
His vitals are needed.
Going good, going good. Oh. It feels good to be back. Or I mean, not, that was always here, but like, you know, not like 6 feet under.
Yeah, you know. The coolant really brings the life out in you, right?
God. What a week it's been for me.
I'm assuming so, considering, well, I know what's been going on and all in the last couple of days, so I'm assuming it's probably related to that, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. You know, it's always good to do a check-in, make sure you're feeling good, got your stuff in order, feel like you're actually, you know, processing things correctly. Always good to have an impartial observer to help you make sure that that's what you're looking for. So, how did it go for you then?
Where do I even begin? Well,
At the start, probably. You know.
Okay, from the start. So, I guess I'll just like skip all like the fluff and stuff because obviously, I guess you have the news. Like madness was like spreading around in the freaking like world and stuff. People were starting.
I
to
have
go
seen
crazy.
people wearing the cones of shame that have been given them by Ludric because of them going mad. Yeah, I know. That and leftovers from the rip and chip, so.
Yeah, you ain't catching me dead wearing that.
Really? Ah, thought it would have been a great bit.
Nah, I don't roll like that. Anyway, a big day of like going down to the basement.
Yeah.
I guess you could say I had like a bit of a more like upbeat, like a high morale attitude, but like
You had a positive
in the back
outlook
of my
going
mind,
in.
I did.
That's good, no.
Yes.
You're always
But
going to have doubts.
back in the mind was kind of like none that this might be the day you kick the bucket, so don't get your hopes too high.
How do the kids put it these days? I'm not him, chief. Right?
What?
Well, a lot of people are like, I'm him, right? Where they're like, yeah, you know, I've got like I'm like, well, I'm still learning, okay?
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, you thought at the back of your mind, like, I'm not going to be able to do this. Forefront of your mind, yeah, no, I'm him, going to get this done. Back of your mind, nah.
Essentially.
Yeah. Okay, I'll have to keep it more professional
Actually,
now.
one thing I did do, which was
Best
actually
at trying to do
like
colloquialisms.
one of the main reasons why I guess you could say I was like so rip roaring to like go down, which is I'm not sure if that's like concerning or not, like having such motivation for war.
Not really. I mean, in general, when you look at violence, it's normally not a good thing, but it's an understandable part of life, and especially how people themselves have been brought up. You think about it, we, as a species, have had to commit violence since our earliest days, because that's the survival instinct. especially as males. It's literally hardwired into us about the fact that violence is the easiest way to solve a problem, because if you hit it hard enough, normally the problem either goes away or doesn't get back up again.
Damn.
It's a bit, well, Neanderthal-esque, but it's generally how it seems.
Me threw a rock at problem.
Problem hit floor, problem not get up again, poke problem with foot, it rolls over. Yeah, problem done. That's how it used to be solved. We've just gotten a lot more morally and ethically complex since those days. But the fact that if you're looking at something like that madness, from all the stuff that I saw on social media, the stuff that I saw firsthand from people coming through, the secondhand stories, people did what they had to do to be able to make a wider and better world for everyone. Because something like that pervading in the world is not a good thing. And the easiest way to stop it from doing so was through violence. It's not me condoning it fully, but that's me saying that that's the easiest and probably best option. Nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, kind of like I got myself motivated, tried to get like others like motivated too in my own way, and then like once the hour came, we like just dove in and started the effort. Madness. There was a lot of it. And I did actively try to either fight it off or use other means to sort of like not go cuckoo crazy, including getting a wizard hat, a big ass wizard hat from my Halloween costume. I still have that lingering around. I mean, it's fucked up after the war, but like it came in handy.
I always felt it was very like a derogatory thing. They're like, you're supposed to wear the pointy hat. I'm like, look, the closest you're getting me is I'm wearing a long coat. That's the closest I'll get to robes, okay? I was never much of a traditionalist when it came to wizardry.
Listen, the bigger the hat, the more powerful you are as a wizard. That's my understanding.
I mean, I'm not exactly that powerful of a wizard.
Plus, you can't really pull off hats that good.
Sounds like someone needs to go to the secret mountain to get themselves some wizard brew.
Thank you, sweetie. Look, I work at the Wicarium. I have access to a lot of magical knowledge. It's more about, the time, considering I do a lot of work here, a lot of work at other places. I have research on the go currently. There's a lot of things going on in the world of magic that I specifically mess with. Depends how people view it.
Yeah. I've had some reserves about using magic before all this. But now I am actually I want to ask specifically Aurin. That's how you pronounce his name, right? Yeah, him about teaching me some advanced wizardry, or at least what I can do, what I have in my pockets.
I mean, it all depends on the subsets of wizardry you look down. I mean, the wizardry that I do, I have only one offensive spell. Everything else that I've learned magically is normally for the help of others. I am very much a support caster.
I do, what was it? Black mage, you could call it. Yeah.
Yeah,
something like that.
Gets a bad rap as black wizardry.
Although I've heard red mage, and I think that sounds kind of cool.
I mean, To be fair, a lot of people, for some unbeknownst reason, lean towards blue mages. Seeing a magical effect created by a creature and then trying to emulate that because they have a basis to do so. Although it almost leans more towards sorcery than actual wizardry. A bit more research required, but can end up being more powerful as it's something that is more in tune with the weave of how nature itself intended it to be cast. It's a very interesting and complicated subject when you get down to the schools of magecraft outside of that.
Sounds a bit limited.
You'd be surprised. Sometimes you can see a magical creature cast an effect that no person's ever really thought of trying to emulate, and when a person tries it, it takes on a completely different way of it actually manifesting. Though that's dependent on, of course, how a person writes down how they feel the spell should work and how they can get it to work. It's just, yeah. I'm not going to bore you with how wizardry gets entertaining and fun. We're here for you.
But yeah, at first it actually kind of like went a little poorly. One of the first things we tried to do was defend a big old tree from madness, but we were frankly overwhelmed. And the first offense went a little poorly, but things did eventually pick up as the night went on. We started to actually fight back against the madness champions or whoever the hell's. And one of the major things we had to accomplish was essentially getting some, I don't know, magical MacGuffins and a big old sword to fight off a literal hand that I guess was just sort of slacking the world with madness.
That was all over social media. People talking about the hand and all that.
Saw that shit in Dream. Fucked me over. Actually, I had several dreams where I was down there.
Are you looking to
one that
not have dreams about things? Because that's something I can definitely help with. I do have a prescription for those.
Well, obviously the madness stuff is hopefully over, so I don't really feel the need to pursue that.
There's a difference between the madness itself being over and the lasting effects on your psychological health from the experiences you went through in the first place. There's the differentiation, you see. Just because you're not under the effect of it doesn't mean that it hasn't affected you. One's an E start and one's an A start. Effect and affect.
Still get those two mixed up.
Yeah, no, it's... Well, I'm used to explaining the differentiation between things. The amount of people that think that I'm a psychologist when I'm a psychiatrist. Big difference.
Grammar nerd.
No, because a psychiatrist is actually a doctor, a psychologist isn't. I can actually prescribe you and get you drugs. Psychologists can't. Technically, I'm not a therapist. I just do this to help people. It makes it easy to, on a one-on-one basis, find out whether or not you need to be actually prescribed something and aren't trying to pull the wool over my eyes to get something that's opioid-based and so on and so forth. Some people have tried that kind of thing before.
Yeah, I'm not looking for drugs, Doc. But
yeah. Well, at least not ones that won't help you.
It did kind of lower my ability to win, you could say. And just sort of on a confidence sort of level, because the basics of it was I saw the whole world basically turning to madness, and that sort of and basically the entire universe, you could say, just burned away in a big fucking light.
You experienced a big bang.
Pretty much. It was terrifying. It felt like a bad ending to a game if we all fucked up.
So wait, it felt like the entire world exploded and then compressed back in again?
No, I mean like everyone who went down like sort of like died or like became like Madness champions, and then sort of like that sun, Madness sun or whatever, like just sort of like burned away everything like a fucking nuclear explosion.
Huh. Now
This is
that,
out on streams or something.
yeah. That is, see, experiencing something like that, now that is why you would probably have strange dreams. See, that's probably going to keep you up for a little bit, especially reliving a moment where you may have essentially experienced what death may be like. Living through a death experience is very much what most would consider traumatic.
One
The
person I talked to when I was like sharing it, like compared it to like the alternate timeline of sorts.
Ah, yeah, you saw the bad end. That is, you see, the fact that you're coping with that very well, taking it in your stride, that's good. When we first had our first session,
I mean, we won,
if-
didn't we?
Yeah, if we went through that first session the way that you were, and you had gone straight on to doing that, you probably would have cracked. I'm glad to see that you've come into a healthier headspace and are taking things in the stride that you want to be taking them in. You've definitely come a long way already. That's great to see. I'm proud of you there, Kaycie.
Thank you.
It's what every doctor hopes to see, a patient actually getting better. And the fact that you're taking the steps yourself and doing that the way that you want to do it, to move forward how you feel you need to, that's great. You got rid of that indecisiveness that you had before. You identified what you wanted to do, why you needed to do it, and you did it. That right there, that's top marks. So as you went through all of that, you haven't noticed any negative side effects so far aside from the dreams? No aches, no feeling of paranoia or dread? You haven't got any residual feelings of unresolved sort of actions?
I guess this is like the main thing I'm kind of like learning how to deal with now. My face feels like widely different, and everyone's been saying that.
I try not to point out things that are blatantly obvious and can bring discomfort to people. Not unless they need it pointed out. No problem there.
I mean, it's even crazier how this even happened. So when we went to the final, like last arena, you could say, where we fought against that giant hand, I did actually like sort of break down and become mad, because like that's like the source of madness. How could you not like go cuckoo crazy in there, no matter how hard I tried to fight it?
You would have to have a very
It got
strong
to the
mental...
point. Yeah, it got to the point where I ripped my eyes out. Talking bluntly, like
You know what?
like fucking
Fair.
like shoveled them out, and like because it burnt so bad, and my like in that state, like what else were you supposed to do?
I've heard of worse cases, trust me. People that have literally itched themselves to the point where they've literally gone through, say, the top of their head to the bone, just from scratching at something. And that was a psychosomatic effect. There wasn't actually anything wrong with them. They just felt there was an itch there and went all the way down until they were scratching bone. Yeah, people will do things surprisingly vicious to their own body if they think there's a problem with it. You thought there was a problem with your eyes? You tried to remove the problem. It was logical. Messed up, but logical. I'm glad you've got them back. though.
Yeah, apparently I almost died again, and Trash and Indy had to literally like carry my ass and back to base camp and use like I guess like so much like healing magic. It sort of like warped my body in a sense, and this is that's what's happened now. This is my reality. The consequences of my actions.
Not quite. It's the consequences of something else's actions that you happen to be a part of. Not fully your own problem. But I don't really think it's a problem for you now, though, right? People are noticing a difference. People will adapt. Literally give it a month. People will forget that you ever looked different at all. It's the same with someone that got, say, plastic surgery for their nose. People will be like, oh, you got plastic surgery. Oh, you used to look so different. Month later, what happens? That's the normal. People have seen you every day. That nose is there. People forget. It's, what do they call it? Clark Kenting, to a degree. Like, if you were to wear glasses and you take them off, you look like a different person. But if you kept the glasses off, people would go, ah, that's just you. You put them back on, you look weird with glasses on. Whereas suddenly, it's roles reversed, right? If you had the glasses on for a long period of time before, people go, oh, yeah, that's normal. You take them off, oh, that's strange. You can always chop and change, right?
I mean, kind of silly to think that your entire, like, persona can change with just, like, flipping off your glasses.
Yeah, but it's a documented psychological effect. That's the thing. People accept the reality that is in front of them, and if the reality in front of them does not change on a constant basis, that reality is fact. So, the glasses analogy, if you wear glasses, it is a fact you wear glasses. Take the glasses off and give it a month, suddenly the reality has changed, and the fact now is that you don't wear glasses. Say you switch to contacts. People would forget that you wore glasses. You could take a photo of yourself from when you had the glasses on. Years later, when people have only ever known you for having no glasses and wearing contacts, and show them a picture and they go, oh, you used to wear glasses. That's weird. You look strange. See? Whereas it would be the opposite way around if you always wore glasses and then you showed someone a picture of you before you had glasses in the first place and they go, wow, that's you without glasses. That's weird. People adapt to change very quickly. I don't think that's something you're going to have to worry about for too long. Some people might call you out, but I don't think it's a negative thing either, right? Like, no one's going, oh, your face looks like you went to a back alley plastic surgeon and got the procedure done with a baseball bat. I don't think anyone's saying that.
But, yeah. So, yeah, after that whole ordeal, I guess I'm still kind of writing off that, the high that, hey, we saved the world, everything's, like, fine and dandy for now until, like, something else bad happens, right?
Oh, yeah, until the
Let's
next
enjoy while it
apocalyptic
lasts.
event. Trust me, I know all about those kind of things, yeah. It's Zafira. We've had enough, apparently. Just from reading books, so... An apocalyptic event happening somewhere else that could spread over this way? Yeah, it happens all the time, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Would madness spreading over the world be an apocalyptic event? Depends. If everyone's mad, no one is, technically. It gets complicated.
Then isn't the world always mad?
One last thing, Doc.
No one's going mad.
Eh.
We try to fix that. You know that.
And something that's actually a bit more personal. Would you consider it ethical to, like, let's say, like, I'm in a position where, like, I had someone that I was, like, dating, right? And but like we kind of like we were fine at first, then we started like splitting off because of like relationship issues. But then I want to like get back with her, but then life. I already told you a story. Life kind of like took me here. Now that I'm in this universe, like I haven't really like. I've had like a few like people I was interested in, but never really found like the time or like the dedication to actually like go forward with it. But now like there is someone, and that like I am starting to grow feelings for. Like after the whole war, love blew me on Battlefield, I guess.
So you're worried about
Would you?
someone that you technically aren't with holding it against you if you were to actually pursue a relationship with someone else? Do you think, how long has it been? That's the easiest way to put it. At minimum, like, what do you think the time limit is?
What do you mean?
So you say you had feelings for someone else and they sort of had feelings back and you started pursuing things, but then there was the split, right?
Yeah. I really wanted to make it up to her, but like I never had a chance to, and now I'm here and I'm falling for someone else, and it's sort of like this.
You
Like,
weren't even officially
you have to
together,
choose
though,
between
right?
the two. It was a kind of complicated like that, sort of like a
Right. Okay. I know.
like
I'm
working our way up to that level.
kind of getting you there. Look, there is nothing wrong with you pursuing a relationship with someone that has shown active interest in you and you have active interest in them if a relationship that wasn't even actually considered a relationship didn't work out in the first place. Like, normally I would say communicate to the person about the fact that obviously you're not in a relationship, and because of that, you should probably either officiate it or not. But because you're unable to, and it was never officiated, what's to say that she also hasn't gone through the same thought process and has moved on herself?
I guess you do have a point. It's been what, 2 years?
2 years as well? Yeah, no, that's it. Look, don't hold yourself to a standard of being a gentleman in the fact that she's waiting for me. Because, again, you can't know whether or not she is. Punishing yourself for something that could have been, but wasn't before you actually were split apart doesn't make any sense to me. And if you find someone that is interested in you and you're interested in them, you should talk about that with them, see how that goes forward. It's a shame that you can't talk with the person originally that you had feelings for and they had feelings for you, but if you weren't officially together, there's no real problem. You can't do anything other than just move on. And if you end up meeting them again in the future, as I know that's something you're trying to probably do, whether or not the relationship you even get into now will affect the fact that you might want to get with them when you get back to them. Who knows? Having the experience might even be better for you. Not a lot of relationships work out. It's a sad but true fact. People try to make them work, but there's just roadblocks. Sometimes people have just lines that they won't cross within a relationship. Deal breakers. So, try the new relationship. You don't have anything to feel bad about for having feelings for that person. You still probably have feelings for them. Like, you can care for people. Nothing wrong with that. See where a new relationship takes you. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. Who knows? That's not going to stop you from still trying to get back to see them, though, and then talk to them at least. See how they felt about things. But that's a future problem. Focusing on the you now, and whether or not you can actually learn for yourself, whether or not you're even ready for a relationship. Because if you weren't even in a relationship with them, how are you going to know that you'd be ready for one if you never actually tried? You say you never focused on them, you've never looked for them, so suddenly having one sort of eventuate naturally for you is something that not many people have happen.
guess you do have a point, Doc.
I try to. I'm just an objective third party. Just try to use the logic. If you ever feel I'm wrong about it, feel free to call me out. I will happily debate you with the things. Sometimes I have to play the devil on the shoulder. I've got to give people the bad side of things. But other times, I'm here just trying to give you the hope that you want. Because most of the time people play devil for themselves all the time. They just want to look at the bad stuff for themselves. Like I'm saying, I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just putting this forward as an idea. The timeline, as it were, the concept. Because again, your new relationship, it may not work out, and that will suck. It'll be terrible, but you'll understand and learn from having been in a relationship what did and didn't work for you as a person, and that'll let you grow.
I guess I will try to give it a shot. Don't know if it'll lead anywhere.
I mean, that's all you can hope, right? Giving it that shot in the first place and opening yourself up to that. If it leads somewhere, that's great. If it doesn't, what's the loss? Even if you end up in the relationship and you spend years together, who only knows if it'll last? A relationship is a fight, a constant fight.
Okay. Weird way to put it.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? But you got to think about it. You and your partner both have your own viewpoints on things. You are your own individual people. So, just because it's not a physical fight, it's a fight of ideals, of morals, of ethics, of your wants versus their needs. See, compromising or pushing forward. It's a fight, it's a back and forth, it's a tug of war. Even though you're both on the same team in a relationship, you still want to maintain your own individuality as a person. Because otherwise, what happens? You become like a yes man for things. Just saying, yes dear, no dear, 3 bags full dear. What do you get out of a relationship like that? Nothing. What do they get out of it? Everything. That's not fair. A relationship is supposed to be equal. So both sides should always be fighting with each other to show exactly what they see as an equal part within that relationship. If the relationship isn't equal, the relationship doesn't work. Fighting doesn't always have to mean violence. I just thought it was an apt way to phrase it for, well, what you just currently went through. Since that's fresh in your mind, it's the easiest analogy to kind of put towards you. The fact that you're thinking about it, though, that's good. That you want to actually move forward and try something that you haven't tried before in an official capacity, that's great. I hope you'll be happy together. I hope you don't end up with her in here for like a couple session. I have had that before. Well, not really officially a couple, but as a mediation.
Yeah, I'd rather not cross that bridge. With all that being said, I don't know. What do you make of everything so far?
I feel that you've got a healthy coping mechanism at this point in time. That you have identified what you want to be doing as you're moving forward. That you're a lot more confident within yourself. That you're less worried about what has been and more about what you can do. You've got your focuses correct and you're looking to get those aims taken care of. My slight concern might be the potential underlying effects of what could be considered PTSD from going through a traumatic experience such as tearing your own eyes out and literally witnessing madness incarnate. But when it comes down to that, I can prescribe you some Hypnosil, which stops you from having dreams. Doesn't affect your REM cycle too badly, though, so you'll feel a tiny bit more tired if you take it, but you won't dream. That would also only be if you want to take it. If you feel the dreams are getting strange and you don't like them, taking that is a good way to deal with it. Only if you feel like it, though. Again, giving someone a prescription and leaving it to them, whether or not they want it to be actually used, completely ball in your court.
Pass for now. I'll let you know if anything happens.
Fair enough. I can easily write the prescription and give it to you. You can fill it whenever.
Word.
Yeah, it's just an option. As for that, though, I'm surprisingly not too worried about you at the minute, which is good. The fact that last time you were very concerned about things, you were looking towards going into a depressive episode, you were becoming malign, you were confused about what you wanted to do. But you definitely seem to be a lot more perky, a lot more focused, and a lot more ready and willing to do what you want to do to get what you want. That's definitely a good thing. You've upped your confidence. Glad to see that you've definitely been taking things in your stride. Anything else you happen to have on your mind right now that you feel you want to bring up?
Well, yeah, nothing much. A goal I do have is to, I don't know, just generally get like better at what I do. And people call me Weather Boy, but I only do like lightning, so I might want to actually like start getting some more wind stuff back in my stride.
Well, that's good. You got yourself a goal. You targeting what you want to do.
Who knows? I might be able to like fly across the sky. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, or even be able to like do my little like breakdance tornado thing again. I think that was cool.
I keep needing to prepare the fly spell. I know it. I just keep forgetting to put it in page.
I
But
want to drop down a note for that.
Keep reminding you.
I know. Yeah, no, I will eventually get that. But for now, that's not a big deal. Be good to see that you've got that focus, though. That's what I like. You still focused on your main overall goal of trying to get yourself back again? Or are you letting that take a back burner and focusing on yourself right now?
And that's the overall goal right now.
Good.
But whatever happens, happens. And I'll be sure to like do it in the best way I can.
Kaycie Sarah. Excellent. That's what I like to see. The fact that you've got your main overlying goal, but you're not letting it obsessively take over your life. You're focusing on the you right now, getting the small steps done instead of trying to take a big leap. That's that good stuff. That is what I like to see in a patient. Clear, concise communication, set defined goals, and a comfort of the self, understanding where you want to be and how you want to get there. That right there, that's all someone in my profession could ever ask for. Well, in that case, then, if you don't have anything else that you really are worried about, I think we're probably done for now, then, which is very good. A lot earlier than I expected. And again, though, don't forget,
already.
if you need to come back again, you can always still set up another appointment. You've got my number. It's not too hard to always figure it out. That's what we like to see. Well, Kaycie, I'm glad you're coming along. Definitely good to see people actually getting what they want out of this. Well,
Parting thanks to you, Doc.
nope. Parting thanks to you listening. Don't forget, I'm just here to show you things. You're the one that goes out and does all the hard work. I can't take all the credit. I'll take a little bit, sure. But, you're the person that holds yourself accountable for things. Exactly.
Thanks again.
That's not a problem. Get out of here, enjoy the day, and, well, good luck, in your relationship advances, I guess.
Yep.